Go back! God damn it.
Hey guys, welcome back to The Sims Bustin' Out. Now last time we played, we took good care of the Araragi family. So I think this time we'll go check in on our pals, the Face family. Oh, the Face family. What is there to say about the Face family? It's one of my longest running jokes in the Sims game. I don't even remember when I started that stupid joke anyway. All I know is... You know what? It actually might have been with my friend Malachi? Maybe? I don't quite remember. But I was playing with someone when I started the joke. And I've been doing it ever since, just because it was so funny the first time. And they're all asleep except for the kid who's studying. You gotta love that. Alright, unemployed and slacker. That's right, Grandpa is unemployed. Isn't he schmoozing up the neighbor too? No, he's not. Who is he again? He's, oh, he's shit. He's Henry's favorite. And then we have Mama Bitch, Dad Ass, and Hairy Face. I think my use of face-based puns is working out quite well. Unfortunately, someone else is going to have to get a job here soon. And I think it's going to have to be Gramps. I don't think there's any getting around that. Because Mama's still working on Mama stuff. Now this house is pretty freaking barren, I'm noticing. I obviously haven't spent a lot of time here yet. And I feel bad, because they should have a good opportunity to develop. So, we're going to definitely make this work. Hopefully, soon coming up, this family will be poor no longer. Especially since Grandpa's going to have to get a job or move out. His choice. Yeah, we're actually giving him a choice in the matter. What's your grade? A+. Okay, stop studying. Hey, Grandpa gave him $100 for good grades. That's impressive since Grandpa's asleep. Something doesn't add up here. Something's not right. Alright. Now everybody can get food at their leisure and eat it on our crappy little table out here. Yeah. Basically, guys, things are going pretty good. I don't know about you guys, but feeling pretty good. I only got a semester of school left. And then the future. And that's what's exciting. Because once the future comes, I'll be doing lots. I don't know what quite yet, but I feel like I have limitless potential. Alright, for real though, I just came back from walking the dog, and then I went for a quick grocery shop, so, yeah. I'm a little on the tired side. What does Dad need to get promoted? He needs body, which he can get right after his stupid kid is out of the bathroom. And, yeah. So, continuing from where we were talking last time, because I know you all loved that conversation. Basically, if you want... Okay, yeah, go ahead and turn off the TV, lady. Basically, guys, the way I see it is that playing on the PS2 here, it's kind of my comfort zone anyway. Like, even though the other versions might look better or whatever, the PS2 version is really my home turf. Because I bought this game many years ago. And my very first encounter with The Sims was actually the PlayStation 2 version of the first game. No, I'm sorry, it was the GameCube version of the first game. I played it at a friend of mine's house, and yeah, basically I fell in love with it right away. We would do stuff like build skull-shaped houses by taking the goth house and then selling everything they had and keeping their money. Yeah, it was pretty great. Do we not have two family friends? Okay, so he's got waifu, she's got waifu. We need more family friends. But yeah, like, we got... Well, we basically just did a bunch of cool stuff in The Sims for GameCube. And I had a great time with it, because we stayed up like all night playing it. After that I was like, I want to play this game again. And I found The Sims Bustin' out when I was staying with another friend. His mom was like, hey, let's go rent some games at Blockbuster so you guys will have something to do. And I was like, okay. And I saw The Sims Bustin' out. I was like, I want to rent this one. And I think my friend rented Crazy Taxi or something. And so we started... seriously, you're awake already, kid? What the hell? That was fast. So we rented that game, and wow, the dad's weak. He's been working out for like 10 minutes, and he's already like, wow, the dad sucks. He didn't even get 2 points. Oh my god. No wonder he's not getting promoted. Then he doesn't have any friends. But, yeah, like, his mom let me rent it, and what the fuck is the kid supposed to do at midnight? I guess he can study more, but... So yeah, we rented it, and we were trying to figure out how to play it, because at the start it doesn't let you do multiplayer, unless you have 2 memory cards. We didn't know about the single-player multiplayer thing at the time. And, so we were trying to figure out, hey, how do we get to play the game? You know, like, what do we need to do? And we found out later that... What the fuck can the kid do? Oh my god, there's nothing for him to do. Wow, okay. Yeah, I guess you can eat more food. No, you can't because the food's dirty. I guess you can clean. Anyways, you know, we were trying to figure out how to do the proper multiplayer, and so I started the single player, and we played just long enough to get to the multiplayer mode, or at least as long as we thought we needed to. And when we did that, alright, you can sit, whatever. And once we played through enough of it to where we could, you know, do stuff, we only ended up getting to play for like an hour. And I was shocked by the differences, like the lack of houses in the neighborhood and stuff. I was like, what is this? We got to play. And while we were playing, like we played for a little while and then we stopped, and I had to go home, and I was like, can I take it with me? And they're like, no, that's on our Blockbuster card, and we don't want to get charges in case you forget to turn it in. Which, fair enough, because Blockbuster had some ridiculous late fees back in the day. So I totally understand them not wanting to pay those. And so we, like, after that I was always on the hunt for the game. And eventually I saw it at Kmart. Yeah, my local Kmart of all places had it. And so I was like, I'm gonna get it. And since it's the greatest hits version, all greatest hits games are like $20 or whatever. So I was like, I'm gonna get this. And I go to buy it. And while we're in the store and I'm, pulling it off the shelf and ready to pay and everything else, my mom's like, oh, I don't know about this, because like she was looking at why it was rated T on the back. And while she was looking at it, she was like, wouldn't you rather have a game like this? And she pulls out fucking Dragon Ball Z Budokai. She pulls out fucking Dragon Ball Z Budokai. Because I guess she was more fine with it being violent. Oh my god, the bus ran the kid over. Oh my god, I forgot about this glitch, guys. This is crazy. Look at this. Why does it do that? Normally, that bus just pulls in down here, and then the school bus is just up there. So I don't know why it does that. That's so weird. That's so weird, guys. Have you ever seen a bus in the real world just like pull up on the sidewalk like that to get like somebody? What the heck? That was so weird. Oh, that's usually the craziest glitch I've ever seen in this game. Of course, this game is relatively glitch free, which is nice. I haven't encountered that many glitches to speak of. Like, all the ones that I've seen are pretty benign. Except for the annoying, like, how you can... how do I even describe this glitch? It's like... if... things... it's like... So, if something that's normally impassable catches on fire... it becomes no longer impassable, but the object itself stays, if that makes sense. So, on one of my mom's playthroughs of this, she caught... the freaking Pixel Acres on fire. Like, the whole thing was just ablaze. And while it was on fire, she managed to burn the rock. Because you know how in that area there's a huge rock just like in the middle for some reason? Well, she managed to catch that rock on fire. And... oh, man. Because that rock was on fire, she was able to walk through it after that. And it was pretty cool. Like... because now that rock that was normally just a big obstacle, Sims could just walk right through it. But it was still there. It's not like the rock was gone. The rock was still very much there. It was just no longer an object that you could get caught by. It was now just set decoration. It was a ghost rock. Speaking of ghosts, if the maid gets killed, she comes back as a ghost maid, which I thought was cool. That's not a glitch, though. And then there's the whole mom's house thing, which I'm not sure if it's a glitch or if it's intentional. It might be intentional, but I really don't know one way or the other. It's hard to say. But I'm going to assume it's probably meant to be that way. Just because I can't find any evidence supporting that it's a glitch. And plus, it's more fun if it's intentional, because that means the developers intended for you to stay at mom's house and just grind out all your skills. Or at the very least, they anticipated somebody doing that. Either situation is just as cool. And I'll gladly take either one. But yeah, this game is relatively glitch-free for what it is. I'm sure somebody can prove me wrong. Like they're gonna pull up some kind of crazy Sims busting out glitch compilation. Why'd you stop watching? And like, I tend to play quite a bit of 3D platformers and stuff, so The Sims, it's a completely different genre than what I normally play, I guess you would say. Why aren't you watching TV, idiot? What the heck? Why'd she just like sit there and not watch TV? Why was she so dumb, guys? Whatever. Okay, good. You're done. Go ahead and work out. And I guess it's not really that unexpected because I also like games with a bit of like strategy games and stuff. So I guess it's not completely out of left field that I'd play The Sims, but it certainly is a far cry from, you know, things like Sonic Heroes or any of the SpongeBob games, which is the kind of stuff I normally play. Okay, feeling better? Good. And I love the open-ended sandboxy nature of The Sims. All of them. I like that. But a lot of the later Sims games, I think, got too complicated for their own good. Like, I was trying to play Sims 3 the other day, especially on console. They got way more complicated than they need to. Like, the controls in this are perfect. I can see everything at a glance really easy. It's obvious where all the controls are. But for some reason, they felt the need to change all of that for the PS3, Xbox 360 release of Sims 3. I'll never know why, but they did. They just effed it all up, man. It sucked. It's basically just a straight port of the PC version, which in its own way is cool and impressive, but if you're gonna go through the trouble of making a console version of The Sims, make it something more like this. Not necessarily linear, like it doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't have to have like a linear progression system in it. Like, I mean, I guess that's nice if you want to have that, but the things that are important is it has to have good multiplayer. Because, like, if you're gonna go through the trouble of playing The Sims on a console instead of a PC, where it's a million times easier to do things, you have to have something that's gonna make it stand out versus its PC counterpart. And having good multiplayer is that feature that you need. I would argue anyway that the core of the console Sims experience is in its multiplayer. And having no multiplayer or bad multiplayer just doesn't make for a very good game. At least not of console Sims anyway. And I know people are going to say things like, well, why do I have to play multiplayer? And the answer is you really don't have to if you don't want to. And you don't have to agree with me either, but I think that The Sims, if you're not going to play it on PC where it's much better, then why are you even bothering, honestly? Like, why? You may as well just, you know, play it on PC. But if you're going to play it on console, at least have good multiplayer. Or an engaging story. Have something like that. Something that would bring a different crowd in from what normally is attracted to the Sims experience. Okay, she's definitely talking to someone tomorrow. Definitely gotta talk to somebody tomorrow. Okay. What time does your bus come? 8. Okay, so I'll wake you up at 7. But yeah, and don't get me wrong, Sims on PC is superior for like some things, but I definitely like the way they made the Sims work on a controller. At least in this game. Like in the first game and this game, I really like how they did it. I'm not as big a fan of what they did with Sims 3, but it's not like it's irredeemable or anything. It's still the same core experience, it's just not as pleasant to me. In fact, I bet if you could plug a keyboard and mouse in and play it that way, it would be frankly indistinguishable from the PC version. Except for the fact that you can't put any mods in. Or DLC. So if those are two things you cared about, you kind of lose those. But whatever, it's not like you need them. You can still have a perfectly fun Sim experience without them. And I'm gonna go ahead and call... Yes, call Koyomi over. Because we need more friends. But yeah, I've been playing Sims for years, and whenever I talk to people about it, like, what do you think makes a good Sims game? Or like, what's your favorite part about The Sims? They'll say things like, I like being able to make my own story. So it might seem counterintuitive to have a story mode in it. But really, if you think about it, it makes sense. If you're going to have a game that's completely centered around making your own stories, a nice starting place would be something like this. A nice story mode of some type. Oh, good. He's coming. Just a nice little linear plot. And that's just to kinda... not necessarily unlock things, but to just get you used to playing the game. That's what I like it for, is it gets you acquainted with the controls in a way that makes sense instead of just diving in. Because for a lot of new players, especially, like when I was younger, trying to play this game was a nightmare. We didn't know what we were doing. Of course, a big part of that was me not really understanding how The Sims was supposed to be played as a game. But, you know, things always work better with time. And the more experience you get, the better it works. So, I think having that essential experience of single player helps in the long run and feeds into the multiplayer. Because once you get decent at the single player mode, you'll have an idea of how the rest of the game is supposed to run. And knowing that will get you, like, it'll make playing the game with friends easier later. So anyways, my point here that I'm trying to make, if you can't tell, is for a more linear style Sims game, the multiplayer and the single player have to both be fun. If one of those things isn't fun, you're doing it wrong. You're definitely doing it wrong if one of those things is not fun. Okay, Ash, you go here. Single player is important, multiplayer is important. Basically, just make a well-balanced game, and you're good. And it shouldn't be that hard to make a well-balanced game. It should be pretty much as easy as figuring out good mechanics for, like figuring out how to translate elements from the PC version. And of course it was a lot simpler back when this was out, because now The Sims has so many different mechanics you can choose from and not leave that much out. Back at this point, though, this is a relatively fully featured game. You have most of what you would expect to see from the PC version here. And I really do think it does work. Yeah, I probably shouldn't compliment. I'll get jealous. Talk. Compliment. Talk. But yeah, it is pretty complete. So, it's accessible. That's another important thing, is console players really want accessibility. They want to be able to just jump right in and play, which, to be fair, that's all any of us want, is just to be able to jump in and play a cool game. But it's especially important for people who are more casual to get that, I think. Which is another reason why the consoleized versions of The Sims never, like the new ones anyway, don't make much sense to me. Because there's no tutorial mode, really. And I'm not saying you need to have, like, an agonizingly annoying tutorial that holds your hand the whole way through or anything, but, you know, something that just kind of explains how the game is played is more than fine. After all, it doesn't need to be, you know, it doesn't need to be a 10 out of 10 best game ever made or anything. It ultimately just needs to be fun and accessible. And a great way to do that is multiplayer. So Maxis, I doubt you're watching this, but make consoleized Sims more like this one. This is good. This is good stuff. This is the way to do it. I know you're doing something crazy and unique with The Sims 4, but trust me, this is... Oh, great. He clogged my toilet and then left. Or is it broke my sink? Yeah, he broke the sink. Okay. But yeah, it just comes down to, what are you gonna do, you know? How are you gonna... Okay, he's going home. Yeah, it just comes down to what you think is important in a game. And I think for a console game, multiplayer is kind of important. I don't think every console game needs to have multiplayer, but I think it's an important element to consider. If you're going to make a game without multiplayer, you need to ask, is this an experience you can only get here? And if it is, then... Great, he can't call repairs, okay. Oh, but Grandpa can. Go call the repair service. Yeah, if you need to ask yourself, is this an experience that's like truly unique? Am I going to be able to get the same experience from my competition? And generally your answer is going to be no. And that's fine. You just need to know what you're getting into before you get into it. I don't know if I'm making any sense at this point or if I'm just rambling, but you need to, you know. But, you know, you need to make if you're gonna make a console game, it needs to be different and unique from what the competition's offering. Because if you're just offering the same thing they are, why is anybody gonna spring for it, you know? And like I said, single-player experiences are important, and multiplayer experiences are important, but I think a lot of people put too much emphasis on it can only be one or the other. And I just don't think that's true. I think it's about a balance. You find games that are good for either or both. After all, if your game only has the focus of being one thing and one thing only, it might get stale after a while. Of course, that's not to say there's no such thing as a good game that has no single or multiplayer. What, Henry? What? For what? Alright. But yeah, just... I think The Sims is great with a multiplayer element. It's something... It's the new angle that Sims needs at this point. Because if you haven't noticed, the series is kind of floundering right now. And I think a large part of that is due to the staleness of the formula. So I would like to propose multiplayer be the new thing to hook people into playing. It'd be completely unexpected for sure. I guarantee you nobody would see it coming. Alright, yeah, you're just gonna have to... Stupid kid, stop cleaning your fucking plate and go to school. Oh, go to school, go to school. Oh my god! What? Did you see that? The freaking bus, like, warped. It saw the kid trying to get on, and it, like, warped backwards to let him on. That was crazy. Oh, what the heck was that? That was weird, dude. Oh, man. Oh, and our bills are yellow. That's not good. You should pay your bills on time, guys. That's just good life advice. Alright, Gramps, he's gonna follow his dreams. He wants to join a band. Which is why he's been getting his creativity up. Because he's like, I'm gonna be the best freaking musician ever. Grandpa Shit wants no real responsibility. He wants to just be part of a band and basically play all day. And that's just, you know, what he wants out of life. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong at all. And I think I'm going to actually cut this episode a little earlier than I wanted to, because it sounds like I'm needed in the other room, and admittedly my own fatigue is starting to cut in on my ability to comment well. Look at that. Look at the jagged lines on that wall. Wow. That's crazy. Alright, so I think we've definitely left them better than we've came to them, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.